Engross second substitute the Senate Bill 5116 as amended by the House on third reading and final passage. Remarks. The good lady from the 36th, Representative Tarleton.
Madam Speaker, it is great to be here with you this afternoon instead of the last time I spoke on an energy policy bill, which was at about 1:30 in the morning a couple of years ago. I'm reminded of the favorite saying of my aunt, all things are difficult before they are easy. Moving our state to a clean energy future where clean, affordable, and reliable energy is available to all of the people of Washington State as we grow is one of the largest challenges I have ever undertaken in my career. And I've undertaken a few. I opened businesses in Russia. I led teams of people in different parts of Eastern Europe to clean up nuclear reactor waste. I found a way to put teams of people together to help Russia and Eastern European countries improve environmental monitoring technologies in their rivers and streams. And I have worked with the Nuclear Regulatory Commission. I worked with them for decades, and Pacific Northwest National Laboratory to figure out how we secure our grid from cyber attacks, from disruptions, from climate events that potentially take out critical infrastructure that support all of our communities. Madam Speaker, this project, which I undertook as a project more than 2 years ago, involving many members of this body, as well as the body in the other chamber, is the work of a group, not the work of an individual, not the work of a team. It's the work of many groups across many months who came together to solve a huge problem. How do we build a clean energy economy for our state? And how do we show other states in our Northwest region how we will help them build a clean energy economy without jeopardizing the stability of our grid? Madam Speaker, for the last 2 years, stakeholders have come together dozens and dozens of times to work out the following struggles. What would our milestones be? How do we move beyond coal? Do we set goals for ourselves that would be nice to achieve? Or do we set standards for ourselves that we will achieve by doing constant planning, responsible management, and adapting to changes in the way the system works to deliver energy to every corner of this state? I'm reminded when I listen to the comments of our colleagues in various amendments, how we all struggle with a very common fear. And that fear is that we will make a mistake, that we will do something that had a totally unintended and unexpected outcome without having anticipated it in advance. And in the course of working for 35 years, I can honestly say that in this case, with this policy, we have done so much together to identify the very largest risks. We have worked on grid stability, and from day one, I promised the utilities community and the managers in the economic development sphere, I promised our colleagues, I promised our stakeholders that we would do nothing to jeopardize the grid. And indeed, in the policy committee, on its path to this floor, this bill was amended to take into consideration the fact that the #1 priority of the Utilities and Transportation Commission would be to prioritize resilience and stability of the grid. We have honored that commitment, Madam Speaker. The second challenge we took on is protecting our customers, our constituents, our ratepayers, to make sure that they were not bearing the brunt of transitioning off of coal, transitioning off of gas, and moving into a renewables, clean energy grid. And so we have protections in this policy to ensure that cost caps are in place, that we are protecting ratepayers from shocks to the system. And Madam Speaker, we took action to ensure that the public utilities and the private utilities were working as a system and not as individual pieces on a chessboard. We looked at the system to make sure that where we can provide tax incentives, where we can provide assurances that we are not inducing any kind of unintended or dramatic shock to the way energy is delivered to any part of the state, that those are taken into consideration in the policies of this bill. Madam Speaker, I rarely speak on the House floor, but I know in my heart and soul that this is one of the most important moves I will ever be able to influence to improve the quality of life and the future of the people of Washington State and indeed of the western region of our country. Because I know that what we are doing is building a different future. We're building a path to 2045. We're building a way to come off coal by 2025, to get to carbon neutral energy for our grid by 2030, and to adapt along the way to make sure that people are brought along with us. My constituents, Madam Speaker, have been asking me to do this for 10 years, since I became a port commissioner. I started this work long before I came to the legislature because I knew moving beyond coal and moving beyond fossil fuels had to start somewhere. And starting in the utility sector, starting with cleaning up the grid, gives people a chance to see victory. They give themselves a chance to believe that we actually have the courage to move beyond where we have been for 100 years and to build the 21st century economy beyond coal, beyond fossil fuels, so that this quality of life that all of us are so honored and privileged to enjoy in Washington State, that we are building that quality of life for all generations to come. And that when they are there and look back at this body at this time, they will be able to say, you did this for us. You did the right thing. And we know that we are living a different life because you had the courage to make the choice. Madam Speaker, I am so proud to be serving with all of you at this time in our lives and in this century, because we do have the courage to make this change. I ask for a yes vote.